how are you? Wow. Lot of meeting. Okay, welcome to Euronews. Is the European Union united, according to you, in the support of Ukraine, or do you expect more from them? Because one can see some cracks in this system. I mean, aren't you?
No. I think that until now, during this whole year, me as a president of Ukraine has a possibility and honor to have a floor on the European Union Council. And it was happening in June, it was happening in September, it was happening in February. And all European Union leaders support Ukraine, and the voice of Europe were united. And I hope that if European Union dedicated to European values, the unity of European Union could be continued.
The Minsk Agreement and all the negotiations around the Minsk Agreement, is President Putin or the Russian side or even the separatist side, are these sides pushing forward an idea of federal Ukraine that for you is unacceptable?
Look, this is not a question of Putin, and not a question of even the president of Ukraine. The only who can make this decision are Ukrainian people. And under our legislation and our constitution, the federal status of Ukraine can be decided only on the nationwide referendum. At the present stage, almost 90% of Ukrainians are completely against federal status. Why? Because we are a unitarian state and we do not accept any form of pressure on Ukraine. And me as a president of Ukraine are all the time ready to declare the referendum and will follow and this is a democratic tradition, they follow the results of this referendum.
Stopping the war in exchange of a federalization is what they want?
First of all, we do not accept any ultimatum. Second, the way of development of our country would be decided by Ukrainian people. Third, we are now together with our European, American and the world partners to defending the freedom, the democracy and the independence of my state. And we do not allow anybody to blackmail us.
Don't you think that in order to comply with what you are saying, that there is a need of bringing peacekeepers in the field in Donetsk and Lugansk Oblast?
My parliament support my proposal, not only for the law for the special status of the self-governance in Donetsk and Lugansk region, some district, not only the map with a line dedicated in Minsk memorandum from 19th of September, but also for the peacekeeping request, a statement to the United Nations Security Council and to United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon for open the discussion for inviting peacekeepers in Ukraine. Where we need these peacekeepers? First, on our border, because the border is a key element of the sovereignty. And we need the peacekeepers close these borders, stop supplying troops, ammunition and weapons to Ukrainian territory. Very simple. And second, the peacekeepers alongside the buffer zone with the with the touch line which was set here just to guarantee the peace and stability.
But the problem is very difficult to bring peacekeepers in the field without the consensus of the other side.
No, we don't have any other side. This is the territory of Ukraine. This is the territory of Ukraine. And we hate the idea that any other state will decide does peacekeepers should be United Nations peacekeepers should be there or not. And we are very much interested that it should be also a possibility for the European Union police mission or in the United Nations Security Council peacekeeping mission would be most of the representative by European Union. We trust. This is our partners and we think this is a very effective way to solve
Do you feel a commitment within NATO and the EU in this sense?
I think that this is...
Did you get support?
Yeah, we have a support. We have a confirmation. The only thing is that Look, what is the problem? After Crimean annexation and after occupation of Donbass, the post-war security system in the world, global security system, are not working. Why it happened? Because unfortunately, one of the permanent members of the Security Council of the United Nations became an aggressor. And that's why that veto right would be used against the peacekeepers. And that's why we need to have this discussion the same way like we have in the Minsk, that would be unanimous decision to have a peacekeepers. And there is no arguments for anybody to be against that.
One of the most important elements after Maidan revolution, in order to give stability to this country, was to make an effective war against corruption. What are you doing?
War is not excuse for not making reform. Fighting against corruption, attracting the most famous international advisor for creation anti-corruption bureau. Responsibility now, the current ministers, prosecutor general, top officers in the police, for the corruption charges and presented it in transparent manner. This is the only way how we can win the trust of the people in this difficult time. The building up the independent court system, remove all the immunity from members of parliament and from the judges, because everybody should be equal for the law.
But in order to implement this set of reforms, economics and against corruption, the country needs to get out from this post-Soviet system, framework.
The person who is involved in the corruption don't have any umbrella anymore. And they understand that sooner or later, better sooner, he will be responsible. The oligarchs are not making decisions what would be the development of the country. And I'm absolutely sure that we live now in a different country, in the free and democratic Ukraine, which is proud and which was created on the Maidan during the Revolution of Dignity. And because of the fact that thousands of people giving their lives for the rights of Ukraine, for making reform and for being in Europe, this is very high responsibility. Responsibility of the president, responsibility of the government, responsibility of the parliament, responsibility of all Ukrainians. We are together. We are one country, one nation, European nation.
Thank you.